Ultria's name. Ultria's name, I realized there is a discrepancy in the fan translations. There is Artoria and there is Arthoria. So I know there are different translations out there, and the official licensing merchandise, if you see other companies do, have been Ultria too. A lot of people ask me then, why Xtella can release as Artoria? I want to ask them that question too. Like, what did you guys do? So a lot of times we'll create a term list, or let's say this is how we want to translate the character's name. We'll send it back to Japan. Time have to look over it, because they're original, they're the IP holder, and we have to respect the original creator's intention of how they want to name the characters. Now, if they give me back something that says load Elbaloy, yeah, I will send that thing right back and say that, yo, you misspelled that shit. But if it's not misspelling, but certainly they have a different way of how they want to spell a character's name differently, we have to respect that. That's why we need the Japan's approval for, I guess, in kind of a way, is that to make sure that we translate, yes, but it doesn't go against how they originally want those characters to be like.
Thanks.
Come on.
So just one question about the new animations versus the old ones. So I know for when NA dropped, you had a handful that had new animations like Artoria, Nebia, and such. So my question is, how come some of the other ones like Ku, Medea, Medusa didn't get it when they already had it? I knew that around the time that JP, they just released a new animation for Hercules. So can you explain something about that?
It depends on the state of the build when it was created, when the NA launched. So just a little bit on video games. So when you make a video game build, normally you have, think of like a tree trunk. So you have the main trunk, which is considered the main database, but you have to split to different branches to make sure that each of the build doesn't affect each other. Now it depends on when the US branch was split out, at least that's what I think. Now obviously I don't know exactly how the backend works, but my guess, personal guess, is that when the US build was first made, it pulled a certain amount of data from a certain state of the game. And that's why some of the new animation went in. And although when NA launched, Hercules got his Phantasm animation update, but it doesn't go in, was because that it doesn't really pull exactly at the same timeline, but maybe the build and the data was pulled differently. And also we have, you know, a different, I guess, marketing schedule that I can't really go into further detail right now. But those new animations will come, because it's not like we're just gonna leave those old animations in there. They will slowly come in a different pace than Japan, but they will definitely come.
Okay, it's not something that I was concerned about, just kind of wondering why half of it was new and then half was old, but no, that's basically that's it.
Yeah, it's because the timing of when the build was made, really.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, I have a question with translation. I know it's hard to translate Japanese to English, and did you have hard time to translate Kiyohime's No Phantasm? Teishin Kasou-Danmai to...
Okay, that is a really difficult one. I can leave it in Japanese. If I leave it in Japanese, as I say, when it comes to consider as new player experience, some people are like, well, I don't read Japanese. If I know that's what it is, I'll just go read the Japanese. Now, there is also another way of translating it, which pulls not Indian, where the the fire thing comes from. I can leave it in that language as well. Again, it's not English, I might as well just leave it in Japanese. It might not be the most accurate translation. No, probably not the most exactly accurate. But when it comes to new player experience, that at least the original intention to have the player be able to understand what the hell that is. And then we'll do more explanation in the master profile, or in the future storyline we'll loop that in. That's what we're trying to do, but obviously, with, a little thing with the mobile games that we can keep always updating. So if we get a lot of feedback, being like, hey, this really doesn't make sense, blah, and stuff like that, we do read the feedback. We read every single Facebook comments, and I am on Reddit. In case you guys want to know. We do see some of the Reddit feedback as well, and it depends. If the feedback is really that, hey, maybe you guys should change it, we do come changing it. So we'll see how the response is, and is there any way to make it better.
Yeah, I see the Kyohime's no phantasm to say meditation, but I feel like it doesn't make sense because Zanmai means like hitting many times, like focusing. Yeah, I will send it.
Well, if it really doesn't make sense, we'll revisit it again. And that's certainly one of the feedback that I really like from everybody is that as long as you're not saying, hey Albert, I want to shake you. I do look at every single feedback, and if it really doesn't make sense, we can definitely revisit it again, and we can think of a better way of translating it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I really want your shirt, but I don't have it. I'm sad.
Actually, my boyfriend won this for me at Anime Expo. I was able to show up, so he won it for me.
I really wanted to jack that shirt at Anime Expo. She's wearing a Buster shirt in case you guys don't know.
Oh my god! Oh!
Nice.
Let's have art section.
Okay, so I'll try to keep this short. So when the servants, when they do their Noble Phantasm, they have like the main name of the Noble Phantasm and a flavor text. So for example, like for Artoria, it would be Excalibur, and her flavor text would be Sword of
Promise Victory.
So my question is are there any plans to translate those and have them show up in the flavor text, or is it too much of a typography problem where you can't fit everything in that one text box or whatnot, if that makes sense?
Yeah, so originally with that thing, well, here's a short answer. We bugged that.
Oh, okay.
In case you didn't know, we bugged that.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to, the second thing is that we did consider the flavor text. Originally, we pulled it out because it doesn't make sense. And then some of the master profiles would talk about the Noble Phantasm, and they will put the reading in there. We put the flavor text there.
Okay.
But then we realized not every single servant will have those master profiles with the Noble Phantasms. So we did think about putting it back in. The servant profile page, the first page, when you go down to see the Noble Phantasm level, we do have space to put it there. So we did bug it to see if we can put it back in. But when it comes to other places like the Noble Phantasm animation part, if we put that in there, it will look way too crowded. When it comes to localization, we really have to pay attention to the reading experience and stuff like that. So unfortunately, for the Noble Phantasm animation part, we have to keep the actual true name in there, but not the flavor text.
Okay.
We bugged that, so we were still following up right now. It's like, yo, we still won't put that back in. What the hell is going on? So, yeah.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah. I can only take one more question, sorry.
Alright, I'll keep this one short. So, I wanted to ask was, in the future, will there be more crossover from, like, other Nasuverse characters, such as Tsukihime? Will they ever come as, offerings or as servants in the future, even for NA versions?
You're not the first one that asked about Tsukihime. Everybody asks about Tsukihime.
Yeah, because it's great.
I want the Tsukihime crossover too. Actually, let's wait for the remake to come out first. God knows when that thing's coming out.
It's taking forever. Even Melty Blood is...
Currently, from our understanding is that Mr. Nasu himself really want to do a crossover as well. But right now, as an A part, I have no idea. But it is something that is worth considering, but that's more of a Japan-sized decision. Sorry.
Okay.
But yes, I'm waiting. I really want it.
Okay. When's the swimsuit one coming out?
Like
Where's my rulers and Martha?
An A game just launched, man!
I'm gonna get Tama again.
Thank you.
Alright, thank you. Now, thank you everybody for coming. have like half an hour left of today, but tomorrow I'll be at the booth, so if you have any more additional questions, or you just want to talk to me, or that one guy want to ask me what's my favorite H scene, just come talk to me at the booth. I'll always love to talk to you guys about Faye and stuff like that. Follow us on Aniplex USA, Aniplex USA, Aniplex USA. The Faye USA Facebook page, you'll get the latest information up there. Now, thank you guys for coming and have a great con, but first 2 rows, stand up.